They go on and say that that is actually the true key to economics, and that is that we as purchasers have we have the power. So you think you're powerless in this world? The government, corporations, even your boss own you. That's what you think. It isn't true. In truth, you have the greatest power, but only when you have a plan and you all stick together. And then they really emphasize this in red with parentheses underlined, only when you have a plan and you stick together. So what does that mean? Well, they go on and say they know how to divide. You know who they are, corporations and your boss and the government. They know how to divide you with all of the smoke screens of abortion, cancer cures, battle in some foreign country, what to eat, political race, your religion, and on and on and on. And you watch them do this division. You watch someone else fail, or some group fail, and you say, boy, I'm glad that wasn't me. And they're trying to get across to you that it was you. Each time one of the divided gets taken, you are the one that's losing. You're losing a piece of your power. What are they saying? They're saying where you are right now, powerless, is simply because you won't stick together and you're being divided. Now remember, advertising works. The advertising that they've been talking about over and over again is exactly this dividing, this abortion screen, this foreign country battle, what to eat, political races, religion, big division. It's like South and North, football games, basketball games, division, divide you. Don't, if you had a group of people all together and half of them are one football team supporters and the other another, they wouldn't get anything done. Do you understand how they do it? It's like they don't come and say, we got to divide you so that you don't have the power that you have to do something to us. They divide you by different football games, different religion, different religious concepts. So, okay, and that isn't that hard to figure out, but it's impossible to get past the advertising. So, and what they're saying is that's the advertising they're talking about. They're not talking about cornflakes. They're talking about religion. They're talking about politics. They're talking about football, baseball, basketball. You understand what they're saying? They divide you. So they say, so what happens if we do stand together with a plan? What happens if we do stand together and do it with a plan? What happens if we say advertisement must conform to strict guidelines? What happens if we demand an end to the make-work programs? Will, to make you feel better, will we be able to work 30 hours a week for the same pay as we get now? Will we have more money for all the things we truly need? Will we get rid of the welfare payments of $50,000 to $100,000? And it's actually a lot more than that, but $50,000 to $100,000 we give to the intelligent game players to dole out our welfare payments, and all the while that they're doling it out, they're looking at these lowly slum, good for nothing, don't want to work people, and they're lowly, good for nothing, don't want to work people too. They go into an office and do nothing, and they get paid a tremendous amount of money to do it because they play in the welfare game. They're playing. Intelligence game players are working up their pay, and they're telling you they're professional and that they really know what they're doing. Bull flat out. And at that point, when you get rid of those people and have field investigators instead, what will happen? Will they have to find productive means to earn income? You gotta love those who gave this thing. They're saying that those people that are on your welfare list that are making $50,000 to $100,000 a year for nothing, they're doing nothing that has anything to do with what you want. They'll have to go out and earn money, and you get to the point where you say, yeah, get them. No, that isn't what they're saying. They're They're not saying get them. They're never saying get them. They're saying, look, these are bright, bright people. They'll have to go out and find some means of earning an income. And the means, I mean, how does that hurt you? Helps you. You get them out of a useless job and put them into a thing where they have to be productive. It's fantastic. You know, it isn't as though we stomp them into the ground. They're wonderful, intelligent people. We need them desperately in this country. You realize where we'd be if we'd stop using those bright, bright people to play games and make them get into the productive end of our country? I mean, we'd be unbelievable. It would, you know, we'd finally be at the top of the world as a country to look to and say, we got to do that for every other country on this world. We've got to do what the United States is doing because they have tremendous income and tremendous life, and all of those game players are going to change it. Those are the ones that are going to do it. They're going to end up working at productive something or other. I can go on forever, and they could go on forever. Then they say with the understanding of the problem area and how to correct them and knowing how to remove the roadblocks to those changes, we can go to real life problem area and apply what we have learned. We have chosen for it. You see that they're saying if we get all this stuff taken care of, then we can get into the real problems of life and apply what we've learned and get rid of advertising and start doing something productive. So they have chosen 4 rather overlapping areas of our society which need the greatest reform. The changes suggested above, the things that we were talking about earlier, those changes have great social, economic, and moral consequences. Each decision or change that has been suggested only after it has met the test of truth of our new system. So what they're saying is that if you go with all of it, which is basically they're calling it a new system. If you go with all of it, there's going to be some tremendous social, economic, and moral changes. And so they say, will there be winners and losers? Yes, there will be costs. Yes, there will be tough moral decisions which hurt from our present point of view. Yes, that's going to happen. Then how can we implement this new system? And they tell you the same thing they tell you over and over and over again. The answer comes from understanding that things are worse now, and now is where we must look and measure the new system from. Not the perceived now, but the real now. What do we mean? Not what you have been told, advertised. Not what you've been advertised to as real, but what is real. If you don't know the difference, go right to the people that are affected and ask. Never go to the experts. Go to the people that work at the bottom. And you gotta love that too. Go to the janitors, the cleaners, the bed makers, the truckers, the real laborers, like minimum wage people. They know what's truly going on. So you will be asked to look at what you have now and compare that to what comes with the new system, or what you can envision coming with the new system. With those areas discussed and the concept of change understood, you should be able to go on with any other area which needs to be brought more into line with the life as you now see it. We will give you the concept and method, and you can go from there. What did they say? They said after you get the federal government squared away, city government, state government, county government will be easy. See, you won't have any problem. Once you get the concept, once you get the idea, there'll be no problem. They go on and say the intent, and a lot of words they use here. Focus, very important. Intent, very important. So they say intent here is to examine the use of advertising as a means of control and put a stop to it. Advertising, all of this stuff that you've seen, they're going to change it all, and the first thing they're going to do is look at advertising. advertising works, and it has to become illegal to use it in any form except as a means of information. Information. This toothpaste is better than that toothpaste because it has, and then you listen to it, and it really is better. Otherwise, it'd be illegal to give you that information because it would be a persuasion involving something in the toothpaste that isn't any better or isn't significantly any better. So they say it'll become illegal now. Illegal. That means that somebody's going to end up on the legal system, which is such a change. Somebody who's doing this is going to end up in the legal system. So it's illegal to use any form of advertising except that is a means of information, and only information. Any law in this area should reflect that intent.